There, welcome back to the Schwowin's Nest. My name is Sandra and I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Today I'm taking some dull thrift shop finds and turning them into sparkling Christmas style. So if that's something you enjoy seeing, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I know this tree is already pretty sparkly, but it's not my kind of sparkle. So I'm going to add some green to it, mostly hitting the outside of the wires so you can still see the gold on the inside. I thought this would be a really fun technique to try. I had it in my head, wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, but I'm really glad I did it this way. The effect is really pretty. The base is also going to get painted green because I have another idea to make it shine. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I love using spindles and candlesticks to embellish my decor pieces. This candlestick is wood, and although the color is beautiful, I need to make it blend with the tree. It does need an additional chunky base on it, so I'm gluing this saucer upside down onto the bottom. Then I'm going to paint the entire thing green with 2 coats. This color is so pretty. It's a custom tint that I made myself, starting with Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Park Bench, which is just a real grass green. Then I added some blue and brown until I was happy with the result. I used this color on some previous projects, so I figured I would use it up on this one. Once both the pieces were dry, I used hot glue to add the tree to the candlestick. To give the candlestick some extra shine, I'm using DIXIE Gilding Wax in the color Bronze. This has been my absolute favorite product to use for the holiday season. Just about all my projects got some sort of gilding. The bronze shade gives just enough sparkle, but also allows the base color to show through. I just love the effect of the bronze gilding wax on top of this green. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm very pleased with how this piece turned out with a $2.49 Christmas tree and a candlestick. Who would have thought? In my last video, I upcycled some reindeer figurines, and I asked you all if I should flock the antlers, and a bunch of you said yes. So I'll most likely take those deer and do the flocking on them. But for now, I found these 2 reindeer antlers at Goodwill. They're not the same, but that's okay. Starting with 2 coats of DIXIE chalk mineral paint, I'm going to flock them. It's a really simple process. While the paint is still wet, pour on some baking soda and don't shake any of it off. Set them aside to dry. I left mine for about 2 hours. Then come back to them with a soft brush and dust off the baking soda. You're left with a gorgeous faux flocked decor piece that looks like you spent a pretty penny on it. These were $1.99 each at Goodwill. Make sure you have something underneath that can catch the baking soda because you can pick that up and put it right back in the box for your next projects. The first time I tried this, I used a bit of a heavy hand and I ended up scraping off some of the paint. So make sure you're using a very light touch when you're dusting off the baking soda. I styled these with 2 of the stockings that I have hanging on my mantle, and I think they look amazing. This flour sifter is already old and weathered. It has some great patina on it, so I'm going to leave it as is. It was $3.99 less 20% at the thrift store. Next, I'll cut styrofoam into a circle to fit into the sifter. This is what I had on hand, but you can use anything you have, like a pool noodle, which are my favorite to use, or floral foam from Dollar Tree. Now all I need to do is add some greenery and berries to make a sweet tabletop decoration. I like to use different types of greenery to make it look full and luscious. Greenery that is wired is always easier to work with. You can bend the stems to make them go where you want. This Norfolk pine from Amazon is listed in my store, and it's really lifelike. I love that it has the wires so I can bend it to look more realistic. My favorite type of berry to use for the holiday season are these red pip berries, and I find them at my local dollar store every year. But I do have some also listed on Amazon with the Norfolk pine stems. Now, this arrangement definitely needs some sparkle. I grabbed some pine cones from my stash and some sticks from my yard to make stems. Hot glue is enough to help them stay together. Once those are set, I'm using Mod Podge and a small brush to get the glue in all the nooks and crannies. Then I have Epsom salts in a bowl so they can be fully covered for a frosty, shimmery look. A couple of weeks ago, I was browsing through Amazon to find some spray glitter. Well, the colors they have are mostly gold and silver, but I was looking for bronze. I came across this bronzy glitter dust that is actually meant for your skin. It was way cheaper than the spray glitter, so I bought it to try it. I'm so happy with the results on the pine cones. They look really beautiful with the glitter. Just one downside is that this glitter floats in the air because it's applied with air. So make sure you are somewhere that you don't mind having body glitter all over the place. I added the pine cone stems to my flower sifter arrangement, and here's how it turned out. A few years ago, I found these beautiful reindeer stocking holders. They were originally gold, and I paid 99 cents each. It was an amazing find. I spray painted them black when I brought them home, but now I'm adding a hammered copper finish to them. It's a simple, easy, and quick update for these dull reindeer. This tree was a last minute grab at the thrift store just a few days ago. I love that it's metal, but those colors are just too much. Spraying it with a soft moss color is the perfect solution for my decor. I liked the base, so I covered it with paper towel so it wouldn't get sprayed. When it had completely dried, I brought it inside to add some sparkle. The bronze gilding wax was the perfect product to use because it blended perfectly with the coppery base of the tree. I did go over the base lightly with the wax too, and the result was just gorgeous. I first started out just going over the tips of the branches, but then I started to drag my brush very lightly over the ridges on the tree. That helped to diffuse this solid color on the tips and bring it up into the rest of the branches. This was just a happy accident. I just decided to start going up instead of coming down with the bronze gilding wax. And when I started to go up, I noticed how nice it caught onto all of those ridges. So that was not planned at the beginning, But I just love when things turn out like this. When you're crafting, you start out with somewhat of an idea of what you're going to do, and then most of the time it evolves into something different. Adding some of the gilding wax to the base just softened the coppery look and added a little bit of sparkle to the black areas. Here's how it looks paired with the flower sifter arrangement on the counter in my kitchen. Check out this cute reindeer planter. It was $6 at Goodwill and it's solid concrete. I cleaned it up and then began adding the bronze gilding wax to the reindeer itself, which was originally gold. Then I took my brush and went over the rest of the pot, giving it a weathered look. There was lots of texture on the pot, so it was really easy to do. I really like finding items at the thrift store that only need a few tweaks to make them look beautiful in my decor. With this gilding wax, a little bit goes a long way, and it's always best to use a softer brush so you can blend, blend, blend. Instead of using the gilding wax all over the pot, I decided to take brown antiquing wax and use that instead. It went on a bit dark at first, but then I got the hang of it and used the paper towel to blend it in really well. I wasn't quite sure of the look I was getting as I was doing it, but once it was finished and I had it filled with the tree that I'm going to show you shortly, I think it looks really nice. This wooden tree reminded me of one that I saw on the Wayfair website priced at $135. I got it for $2.99 at Goodwill. I'm going to paint it with Dixie Belle Dropcloth chalk mineral paint. One coat will do the trick. By the way, if you're not following me on my new channel, Schwowin Thrifts, you're missing out on shopping with me. I'm taking you along as I shop for all sorts of great deals on home decor for the holiday season and beyond. The link to my channel is in the description box, so make sure you check it out and subscribe. I've really been enjoying using cinnamon in my holiday crafts, so I'm going to add it to this project too. Using some Mod Podge, I'll put it on the tree where I want the cinnamon to stick, and then use my finger to gently pat it into the glue. I love the rusty look it gives my decor, and it smells great. I also added some cinnamon to the front and back of the tree, just a light dusting so it would blend in with the sides. Using the little bronze glitter powder again, I just dusted a little bit on the edges. It gave just a hint of sparkle, and I thought it was the perfect addition for this video because the theme is making things sparkle. I grabbed a bag of rusty stars from Amazon. It came in 3 different sizes. This is the largest one. I glued 2 of them together, insides to insides, to make a 3D star, and now I'm gluing it on top of the tree. The tree fit just right into the pot, sitting about an inch down from the top. However, I needed to add something to cover the base and also give me sort of a shelf to add some pine cones. So I cut out a circle of box cardboard, notched it out, and then hot glued it to the tree base. All that's left to do for this project is glue some pine cones onto the cardboard, sort of in any which way, not necessarily a pattern, just until it's all filled nicely. I love how this turned out, and I've got it styled on this cute little thrifted chair in front of my fireplace. Let me know what you think of this project. I rarely find good looking reindeer figurines out in the wild, but I got so lucky with this one. It's very pretty just with the clear, but I had something else in mind for it. Starting with Dixie Belle Dropcloth Chalk Mineral Paint, I'll give it 2 coats, excluding the antlers. For the antlers, I gave them 1 coat of Dixie Belle chocolate paint, but then switched gears and did the second coat with black acrylic paint. Once that was dry, I used Mod Podge all over the antlers and sprinkled some Epsom salts on them. That was the same technique that I used for the pine cones. Once that was dry, I did add some of the bronze glitter dust, but I forgot to hit record on my camera for the Epsom salts and the glitter dust, so you'll just have to wait and see the end result. I hope you enjoyed watching me turn these dull thrift shop finds into sparkling Christmas style. Let me know if you're going to try any of these techniques on your holiday projects. Thanks again for clicking on my video, and don't forget to check out my Schwowin Thrifts channel too. I have a goal to get that channel up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, so if you can help me out, I would really appreciate it. Bye for now.